hello there. It's Gary Lucas here. It's Tuesday, April 6th, and I'm back in the lectured mode here, just because. That was Brought Joe from Kilimanjaro, a beautiful piece by Abdullah Ibrahim, originally titled Dollar Brand. And that was a name given to him because of the type of cigar he liked to smoke. South African jazz musician who was very fond of dollar cigars. I don't know what the actual brand was, probably not El Producto, but something native to South Africa. Anyway, one of the great jazz musician, inspiration, composer, philosophers. I've seen him a couple of times. The last time at Joe's Pub at the Public Theater, one of my favorite places to play. And things are starting to stir again in New York and elsewhere, I guess, but there is if you read the papers, you'll be aware that there's kind of a general warning not to get too complacent. So I'm happy to report most people are still wearing masks out on the street here in the West Village, even if they're doing it out of to keep up appearances. I'm not sure, but I think better safe than sorry. And it's been, a lovely few days here. The weather finally turned a bit sunnier, and today it's nearly summery almost, so we intend to take a little stroll with Lulu at the end of this today. But I had a very nice time with my old friend Danny Fields, who I want to give a shout out to here. I haven't seen him that much during the pandemic, but every time I see him, it's a delightful occasion. He is one of the great raconteurs and personalities of our time, and so influential on the development of a lot of different disparate music, but a father for sure, a figure of punk rock, with his management of the Ramones. But before that, he was involved with really trying to enable Iggy Pop and Nico and people who don't fit any particular rhyme scheme or paradigm in the music biz, and these are the kind of people I'm attracted to, mainly to work with. And he had just received a package of some of the effects of his dad, and it turns out that his father, besides being a doctor, was apparently an accomplished guitarist who loved to collect all sorts of sheet music. So Danny gave me a gift of some of it, which just the covers alone, I don't know what the music of a lot of it sounds like. Now here's Roman guitar, Chitarra Romana. Look at this, it's a tango. What I mean, I don't know how it's registering. I can't really zoom into this from here, but maybe you can. But these things, I mean, just the production of sheet music is something remarkable, insofar as usually the graphics are spectacular. Now, this one is not so much. Okay, this is from the songs of the singing nun, Dominique, which was a hit, if you remember. I think it was about 62, Dominique. And the flip side is I Left My Heart in San Francisco. This is by Sourire. Sister Sunshine, I guess, would be the Sister Smile would be the translation of her French name, with lyrics by Noel Regny. So I don't know, but maybe Danny's dad had fun playing all this. One of my favorite songs, Mr. Sandman, that was recorded by the Chordettes. I grew up on this song. You may know it because it's got an answer voice in a deep basso profundo. Mr. Sandman, yes, bring me a dream. I'm not going to butcher it any further, but those of you who've lived a long and full life will know this and this group, the Chordettes. And the back is a Bing Crosby, an ad for a song folio. Bing, through Bingle, one of my favorite singers. I actually rate him over Sinatra, Dean Martin, and everything. I love Bing Crosby, and he was a badass. If you do any examination of his biographical details, he did things like crash a car drunk into a restaurant and almost died in the crash. But he was one step above a juvenile delinquent, and then later on in his career, he would play a kindly Irish Catholic father in many films. Okay, so the theme today is fathers. Now, here is one of the top songs from one of my favorite musicals, Damn Yankees. Whatever Lola wants, Lola gets. I recommend the film production. I think that's probably the only way you can see Damn Yankees. Starring the great Gwen Verdon, one of the best hoofers ever to appear on the screen and on the stage. And Ray Walston, who went on to play my favorite Martian, Uncle Martin, plays the devil in this film. And it's Adler and Ross. And the choreography, Bob Fosse. So here you got the New York Yankees, a baseball cap pierced by the three-pronged trident of, I would say, three-pronged trident, I'm thinking Neptune, but no, I guess it's also the devil's trident. And if you know your musicology, the tritone, which is basically a flatted third, is considered the devil's tone. Every time you hear horrible dissonance, it's the devil rearing his or her ugly head. But anyway, some people find dissonance beautiful. I'm one of them. Depends on how it's applied or how it strikes you at the moment, I guess. Okay, here we go with Song of the Barefoot Contessa. A great film. One of my favorite films, The Barefoot Contessa. And on the back you get an excerpt from the Warsaw Concerto. And Song of the Barefoot Contessa by Mary Nashambeni. Great film with Ava Gardner and Humphrey Bogart. Here's Ava, who famously did marry Frank Sinatra and had a tempestuous relationship with him. Great film, I recommend it. And lastly, for today, Hey Brother, Pour the Wine, okay, by Ross Bagdasarian. Now, I don't know about you, but he's very, very famous personality, not only in music, but in animated cartoons. So the first one who can quick comment is going to get a gift from me personally, autographed, maybe my new collection, my 40-year retrospective. But I'm going to tell you who it is. So anyway, we'll have to look at the comments afterwards to determine who was the quickest on this one. Ross Bagdasarian is the father, that father theme again, of Alvin and the Chipmunks. Now, I don't know if that's general knowledge, but I loved the Chipmunks. They had a hit when I was growing up as a boy about Christmas. That the refrain was, I just want a hula hoop. All the voices were provided by Ross Bagdasarian. He figured out how to speed up his voice and do different pitching of his voice in the recording studio, and then was able to create these group harmonic effects as Alvin and the Chipmunks. But Alvin Mania, the Chipmunk Mania, definitely was loose on the land, about 1961, 62, before the advent of the Beatles. I'm not sure if it carried through. The Beatles kind of wiped out everything, did they not, for a moment? And, anyway, he was also a songwriter. And here's one of his songs. Now, he recorded under his own name. Did you know that? Ross Bagdasarian on Mercury Records. Here it says on Mercury record number 70254. Anyway, there he is. He was a handsome guy. And on the back, you get an excerpt of Frank Lesser's Guys and Dolls. So sheet music has kind of faded out. I mean, they still publish it, but it used to be that it paid a pretty good royalty, especially if you had a hit song, because people would want to learn it. And there were stores really specializing in it when I was growing up. And, I guess I learned how to read music through getting some sheet music when I was a fledgling guitarist at age 9. Another big phenomenon of the day was what they called a fake book, which were song folios. And I remember getting several, and all of it claimed on the cover that one was for an instrument in E flat, like I believe a clarinet is. I gotta check that. And another in B flat. So supposedly, you could combine reading all of the songs in this fake book, which would give you a leg up if you were going to be playing weddings or bar mitzvahs or brisses or whatnot. And you could make harmonious sounds with a small group. But I remember feeling that we'd been cheated when I assembled my first ensemble, which in those days was called a combo. Later they started using the term bands, but back in the day they were called combos. Bands came in really around the time of the Beatles. I started to hear, oh, I've got a band, I got a band. I mean, as opposed to big band. I mean, that was already established. Anyway, so we got our fake books, and we were trying to play a song like Little Brown Jug, How I Love Thee. That was like one of them in there. And by God, the E-flat song, fake book and the B-flat fake book had the identical music with the same sharps and flats. It was like they didn't even bother. They just changed the covers, So it was a double fake book. It was a fake out, in fact, is what it was. So, all right, well, moving right along, please check out pleasekillme.com. Just that. Write it into your Google search engine, and you will find a new article I wrote last week that's had a lot of legs so far. They've had multiple thousand page views, which is, nice to hear. A lot of people were reading it and hopefully enjoying it. And it's all about me trying to put together a young Vin Diesel when he was known as Mark Sinclair, with a great left field rap and dance producer and classical musician, avant-gardist Arthur Russell. And the ensuing result, I hope it brings a smile. At the time, it didn't really bring a smile to me. I chalked it up as a loss, as did the people around me. But in retrospect, it never fails to bring a smile. Isn't that the good thing about the passage of time, folks? Is, there's a saying, time heals all wounds, or maybe it's time wounds all heals. I'm not sure, but, things take on a more rosy look to them. I mean, even now tragedies with the passage of time, hopefully, and bring some gain of knowledge, hopefully, and wisdom. All right, so enough pontification. I think that's something else to show and tell, but I don't know. Oh, yeah. There was a really great review in an Italian magazine for my retrospective, The Essential Gary Lucas. 9 out of 10. I'm told the writer is one of the most prominent music critics in Italy. So I want to thank again Verdiana Garau, who brought the album to his attention. And it's really nice. There's a translation of it that she did that's up on my website. I might post it again. But it's a good one, folks. And with that, I will play a few minutes more here of free improv.